Welcome back to Adobe live from the awards here in Amsterdam. And for the next 25 minutes, I'm going to be with Harald Dunnink.
That's correct.
Is that correct?
That's correct.
It's pretty good, no? For,
yeah,
for a non-Dutch person.
No.
Dunnink.
You did great.
And he's a creative director and founder of the design studio Momkai. So in the next 25 minutes, we'll discover what Harald is all about. So remember, in the chat, that's your opportunity to ask Harald questions, and truly the opportunity to look over the shoulders of professionals, just like Harold. Hi,
Awesome.
Harold.
Great to have you. It's
Yeah.
great to
Thanks
be
for
here.
swinging by.
Yeah,
And
cool.
maybe we could start very quickly with a little quick introduction of who you are and what you do.
My name is Harald Dunnink, so I'm a creative director, a designer by trade, and I founded Momkai, a design studio here in Amsterdam in 2002, so really long time ago. And
Long time
no,
ago.
that is a long time ago.
Yeah.
Well, but do mind, I was like 19 at the time, and so I never worked somewhere else. I started this, and at the time you had like really big digital companies, Razorface, all those kind of companies, and I missed the Dutch tradition of like design studios, and design is very important in this country. People are aware that we are in Amsterdam, right? In this live stream.
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah. That's important.
Harold is playing a home game.
A
here.
home game. So, and I missed that tradition of design studios for digital, and I wasn't used to anything. So I was like 19, 20 at the time. So I wasn't used to any money. I didn't have a mortgage. I didn't own a dog or a child.
Everything you do have now?
No. I don't have a dog.
You don't have a child?
No, I do have a mortgage.
Okay.
Yeah. But no, but it is, you are very free then to create.
Yes.
And I started it, and together with Sebastian Kersten, he's the co-owner, and he is a developer. And in the beginning, and that's often what we did, design and development. And now it's roughly between, we're always a bit around 25 to 30 people. And we do...
That's quite a growth.
Yeah, it's but we never really set out for growth.
Yeah.
So our aim was always to be not the biggest studio, but to be a studio that is selective. So the people that we work with, the team members that are asked to join the team, or the clients that we work for, or the companies that we co-found, and all these things, we want to focus on the projects where we think that we can really make a difference.
Yeah.
And I think that is, I would advise that to all creatives. I think that is one of the best routes. You stay true to your core.
That's the secret sauce, right?
That's the secret.
If you start doing stuff you don't believe in, then it's
that's the then it's the end.
It's the end. Yeah. So Ana Maria Prada, hi Harald from Barcelona.
Oh, okay. Hi.
Maybe you know her, maybe not.
No.
Okay.
Where do you see
Ana
her?
Maria Prada.
Oh no.
Hi Harald from Barcelona.
Prada. Okay, fancy.
Oh, and Praxis Studio like. Okay, perfect. So, like you started in 2002. Of course, that's what, like 15, 16, 17 years ago.
Yeah, 17.
17
You
years
make me feel old, man.
Hey, look, I started my studio in 92, so...
Oh, okay.
I'm
Fair,
the old
fair.
one.
Okay, fair.
Okay, you're still junior, okay?
I'm still the junior to you. Yeah. That's good.
So, of course, one of the things that is super interesting is like to think back in 2002 and at how different the world was then, right? Because in 2002 we were still talking about, can you make me a website? Can you do
very
this?
much so.
And
or even that you had to explain that a website was a good thing to have.
yeah, that's right.
There was
also that battle.
Yeah, it was very new. I think, of course, you didn't have like Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. All those things didn't exist. We could make a lot of projects in Flash.
Yes.
That's from a creative point of view. That was always.
Did you?
Yeah, we loved it because everything was so fluent, so fluid. And colleagues I work with, that I still work with, Eddie Cook or Martijn van Dam, we could really design things. Then Eddie would do the animations, and inside Flash, that was so fun to do. You could really create these worlds, and felt much more as an open canvas.
Yeah.
And now it's much more of a grid, which is not a bad thing, but that was fun of those days. And now everything can be fluent and animated again, but there was a middle part where everything kind of got boring.
Yes,
and
right. That was the reason for flat design.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Just to make it simple.
Yeah, and simple is not bad, but you miss the elegancy. And I think when the iPhone introduced, and then people started to get a sense of that fluidity again. So in 2002 was a very different world.
Still use Animate, or have moved to something else, or After Effects?
Oh, we use a lot of animation inside our work. Indeed, some parts it's then After Effects, or it is completely scripted. But I think we always try to find a way to create projects that really feel like a whole, and that's like flow, like blend into each other. And and I think what's also very different from 2002 is that, of course, before that, like internet was all hype. You must have experienced that as well. Like there was a lot of money and all that. But we came just right after that.
And a lot of charlatans around.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, a lot of fakers. And we came just right after that. So we were never used to the money. And so we were all, which I also liked, because it gave us a pragmatic approach. We know how to work with like smaller budgets. We know how to still create something, which really helped us later on when we not only worked for clients but also started other companies. So we are co-founders, for instance, of an online news platform called The Correspondent.
Ah, yes. You want to talk about that a little bit?
Oh yeah.
Let's look at. Let's start by. Do you have a company website?
Yeah, of course.
Let's open that up, and maybe you can share with us, like just a couple of things.
Yeah, sure.
And then I want to talk about The Correspondent, because
that's right there.
Okay, there you go.
But so this is our company website with from Momkai. We made it very simple. So we talk about the projects, we talk about the studio that we are, and you can contact us. So I thought like that's the bare minimum I can create it at. And so we pitch ourselves really as a studio that likes to help thinkers and dreamers to help realize the projects that they envision, and the brands and the platforms that come with that. So that's where we very much are focused on. We work from a design philosophy of cultivating calm. So I've been doing this for a long time, and I knew that we worked from a sort of core beliefs. But since we started working with The Correspondent, so working together with journalists, and one of my co-founders is Rob Wijnberg. He's a philosopher, and that helped me to think like, hey, maybe we should write down our own design philosophy as well, because I know it's there, but I never really. You're not a writer.
It into words,
exactly. So. And then I had a great opportunity in 2016. I was invited here by the Contemporary Art Museum, Stedelijk, to do a audio tour, to go along all these artworks. And I noticed from that the work that we create and how I often view a museum, so that's also the place where we are now, like we are in the theater right now. I often both like the art at display, but I'm also really in looking in wonderment to the building itself, because it's
the environment,
the whole environment. And then I noticed, hey, what the architect did here is what we do online, because he created a center stage for the artwork, and for instance, stripped the walls of like power sockets and all, so everything is focused on the artwork, and the whole flow through the museum is a way to make you see all these images throughout the day, but in a museum you take the time to reflect and look at that artwork.
That's such a great analogy. I love it.
Yeah, so it's like really a center
Yeah,
stage
yeah,
for the art. And then I noticed that's something that we do in our studio at Momkai as well. And I found the words to call it cultivating calm. So only the content can drive you to distraction. Meaning we are at service of the story that we want to tell. As a designer, you can create the best podium for that story. And everything is in line with those principles. And it really helped also inside the studio in how we work together. I can advise that to any
Can you maybe
designer.
show a project that gives you that sense of cultivating calm?
If we do our work well, it should be in all our projects.
Yes, yes. But maybe one,
yeah,
that
no,
comes-
so one of the projects, of course, is what we wanted to talk about is the Correspondent.
Yeah.
It's an online news platform, and we really see it much more as a movement for unbreaking news. So a lot of news is about the hype of the day, rather than the structures. Clickbait. It makes you feel anxious. It makes you feel scared, and it makes you less informed. And we wanted to create a different kind of news platform. We did this in the Netherlands, called the Correspondent. We did that in 2013, an online news platform. We created a crowdfund platform for that. And now with the Correspondent, we did that again, but then in English 5 years later. When we did this in the Netherlands, we collected $1.8 million. So it's an ad-free news platform. So the people become members and they contribute to this kind of investigative journalism, making this kind of really important, precious journalism possible. We didn't do that on Kickstarter. We designed our own platform, again, to create a whole environment that is calm and relaxed and is completely focused on getting your attention to what matters.
Yeah.
In this case, important journalistic stories. And now I'm really happy that we could do this again, but then in English, which was a really nice project and a big challenge.
So you're scaling outside of the Netherlands.
Exactly. We worked on this for 2 years. You see two other co-founders here in the photo. Rob Wijnberg, Ernst van Fout, other colleagues that we worked on. And to move into English, in Dutch we had like this slogan called, like, roughly translated, antidote to the daily news grind. We are your antidote to the daily news grind. In English, I thought, like, this is way too long. We have to find we have to find something else. So that's also really how we view design. It's not only, I think over time we found a way to look at the whole picture and look at the words and how you pitch everything. And we found this great way to pitch it, which I think everyone instantly understands when we call it unbreaking news. And the fun detail there is we had a great intern working with us, Joanna Becks, and we had all these strategy sessions. And how I like to approach a strategy session is like 6, 7 people, different perspectives, really senior people, but it's really great to have interns and like junior also in the meeting, because you get
a
fresh
mindset. Yeah.
fresh mindset, young people, different approach. And at some point we were thinking about how could we phrase this, and then she said, like, breaking news. So for a long time we had this breaking new approach, but we thought, like, no, it doesn't really sound well. We tucked it away for years, and then she said, "Unbreaking news." We were like, "Oh, wow, that's it!" But so great, it just came. It came from her, and then we thought, like, "No, this is money. This is what you need. This is what people understand." And this is what we used in all the design aesthetics from that point on. So often cultivating calm is perceived as, everything should be, is everything then dry and boring and relaxed? But we mean it much more as everything is, in an elegant way, suiting you to what matters. So it can still be bold or it can still be expressive, as long as the whole thing is not distracting you of the thing that really matters. So in this case, we did Unbreaking News fan. I think this is a. I will put the sound off. Oh yeah, this is a little video we just created. We are sending in for awards. We're today at Awwwards, of course, and we're sending this in also for different kinds of awards. And here you see the news fan. And the idea of the news fan is that we were looking for a sort of aesthetic, the aesthetic of breaking news, but how can we use that aesthetic of like bold type, red and blue, which we moved into the English language. To move into the English language, we thought we have to be in the biggest market, America. To be in the biggest market, we thought like we have to be in New York.
Maybe the market that needs it most right now.
I think exactly. Oh man, I lived there for a while now. Partly lived there and then in Amsterdam, so I traveled back and forth. Compensating all our flights tenfold. So we do care about the environment. But yeah, we worked there. My other co-founders lived there for a while, and at some point when we were there longer, it's just suffocating. It's so toxic there, and yeah, what we created was this was a way to how can we find different ways of bringing the message of Unbreaking News, and that together we can progress, together we can change into a different kind of movement, a movement for Unbreaking News.
So what kind of response did you get? I mean, how does it work? How can somebody participate?
So people can still join. Let's see. So we had a crowdfund website. This is somewhere at the beginning. Let's see. We can go to the website. So this was a crowdfund website which we created, and our aim was to raise $2.5 million by within 30 days, and thus build this movement of Unbreaking News, which was a really big aim. It's
a big number.
It's a big number, and it was really one of the most intense projects of my life. But I'm really proud to say that we made it. Thanks to, well, as you see, we're almost at 48,000 members now, from more than, I think, close to 140 countries. And they're all chipping in. The median is roughly $30. So it's all like micro donations. But it reminds you a bit of like a Bernie Sanders campaign. So it's a lot of small donations, which is actually a really great thing. It's not these billionaires doing everything.
Or Alexandria Ocasio.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
it's us, normal people, standing together saying, hey, we should make this possible. So what we see with this crowdfunding, and I think that is a really fun and powerful thing to work on, is if you believe in something and you want to change something for good, you can find the people. You can design the means to pull people in.
And I see that the Correspondent will start publishing in mid-2019.
Yes.
So you're ramping up to going live, I guess.
No, it's... I closed it now. We're working hard on that. We aimed... I think today... the email goes out to all our founding members, so we call them founding members, and they help us realize this dream. And I think today we announced the date to them. So I can't announce it now because I don't know if the email's out. But it's
you didn't get the email.
So it's rough. It's somewhere in that period, and so you can imagine it was really hard work on the campaign and really focused on that. And I think we really did great with teams here in Amsterdam and in New York.
So what's your unique selling proposition? What makes the Correspondent different? Like what's your mantra? Or is it just unbreaking news?
No. That would be. Let's see. I can see that, of course, the best on the website. How we saw it, I can maybe describe, see what we described it here.
Okay, that's helpful.
Yeah, that should be the most helpful. So this is still about how we. Let's see. I can. I think the best way is if we go to the website. One sec. So we see it really simple. News, as we know, it leaves us cynical, divided, and less informed. So those are the problems. And we are building a movement for a radically different kind of news, and we can't do that without you. So that's the promise, and the promise that it can't be without you. So if we look a bit more at the about, so we want to change what news is about, how it's made, and how it's funded. So it's funded by us as members. How it's made is that we have a very different approach to correspondence and how they work together. It's also very different how we present them and how they work. Meaning that the way that they work is not that they follow news cycles. It's a bit like the teacher you had in high school. Maybe you were not really into economics, but if that person was really passionate about it, could pull you into the story. That's how we view our correspondence. So, for instance, we have a correspondent non-human. She's all about little animals and all the things in the world that are the 99% of the rest of the living species on this earth. We have a correspondent forgotten wars. So we see Syria, we see other wars, but there are so many conflicts that are not being covered because they don't have this news hook. People are not aware of them, but they are, of course, very important things that are going on. Plus, they tell us also more about the world around us. So. In this way, and also in the way how we ask of our correspondents to collaborate. So the online platform is very important. We designed the platform. We give the tools there. It's a lot about we ask of our correspondents that work with us. We have at the moment I think 25 full-time correspondents. The whole correspondent at this moment is I think 60, and we'll move into something like 90 people. And we ask of them. At least 30-40% of your time should be interacting with your audience. Because it's not, that they can move your story along.
We just have a couple more minutes, but there's a question here from Rahul. We would like to hear, what challenges did you face raising the funds? Or did you face any? Did you face any challenges?
Oh yeah, man. Okay. No, good question, Roel. No, so what we did is we raised runway funding, meaning funding to fund our campaign. And we had Pierre Omidyar, the founder of eBay. We had Craig Newmark, the founder of Craigslist. And we had the Foundation for Democracy and Media here in the Netherlands. That came out of the World War II and the resistance. And they helped us fund the campaign, but the campaign itself was completely funded by members. As you can imagine, that is
I think it is super. I mean, I'm surely going to follow that and maybe become a member. Who knows?
Oh yeah.
And yeah, so it's the. Make sure that you check out the Correspondent. Hey, Harald, like I told you, our time is over.
That goes real fast.
Flew by. But we're going to be right back with Moxie. And who's going to be here from Moxie? Marco and Andre. So they're already here. They're Marco and Andre in the house. All right. So thank you so much. And
thank you.
Stay tuned. We're back in 5 minutes.
Cool. Thanks, man.
Great stuff. I love it.
Thank you.